live on the air. I'm Richard Saile.
This is wild.
It is that time of the year. Super Bowl 60 is nearly 48 hours upon kickoff, and we have a whole lot to get into today. We have everything covered. Trends to know before the game. I have a winner. I have a score prediction. I have guarantees. We have some plays that I like. We will all have that for you on today's Super Bowl 60 episode of Lounge Time. I'm your host, Rich Saile, and today we got a lot of Super Bowl information to cover. The day that I have been waiting for leading up into the big game, and the day you guys have all been waiting for to see who do I have picked to win it all. But first, I want to start with the NFL honors last night briefly. We nailed most of the picks from last week's show, and I will say there are only two issues I have, but you guys kind of know what they were, and that was from last week with a lot of the information that we had gotten from who was snubbed from the Hall of Fame specifically, and then the votes came out as to how much each recipient got for the individual awards. Now, I thought they mostly nailed the guys we had predicted on the show. And if you guys kept track, I did really good with how I guessed it. I won't lie to you guys. I actually kind of went by who I think Vegas was leaning. So I don't want to take all the credit, but I kind of also went with who I think Vegas was going to go with. So that's probably why I'm smart in this case. However, the Hall of Fame class, we nailed once again, except for the senior finalists, because right after I was done recording, Robert Kraft did not make the Hall of Fame. And Roger Craig got in instead of both Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick, which you guys already know my thoughts on Bill Belichick not being snubbed. Robert Kraft, it's a very similar feeling to Belichick. I'm not going to spend the time today because I want to get all into the Super Bowl content that I like. Again, I don't want this to come off like I don't think Roger Craig's a Hall of Famer. No, he is. I just think that the general voting issue needs to be changed across NFL awards. And I don't know if those of you that follow my X page at Lounge Time Pod, well, I had a little bit to say on the fact that Bill Belichick should have been in this class instead of Roger Craig. And no disrespect to Roger Craig. He was a really great back. First to ever achieve the 1,000 yards rushing and 1,000 yards receiving feat. But it's how the voters kept Bill and Kraft out of the Hall of Fame that really bothers me. And that's really the real root of the problem. And it kind of is going to go into how the MVP ended up playing out. And let's get to that for a moment. Because according to the final tallies, and I'm going to make sure I pull the tweet up because I want to get the exact vote count for you guys. And I want to make sure I have the full-on votes tallied for MVP because this was a close race that was down to one vote that decided it. Really first place votes, those of you that really saw last night. And I'm trying to get the tweet. If not, you know what? I'm going to pull it up right now. Let me go to search. There's a better way to do this. I know it's, yep, here we go. I want to pull up the full vote count for MVP. And I want to. Yeah, they have the tallies for how many votes got for MVP, and okay, yeah, these are all like really, really late. Okay, yeah, this is full awards. We get it. So, all right, here we go. So Matthew Stafford ended up winning. He had 24 votes. Drake May had 23. Josh Allen had 2. Justin Herbert had 1 vote. You've got to be kidding me. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the problem that we have with the voting system across all NFL awards. You have sports writers that I get have covered the game for a long time, some of these people, and they're well respected in their industries, and I get this. But you've got a lot of those like, you know what? I got to get him in because he may never get in, and we don't want him to be elected after he doesn't get his chance to be elected while he's alive. Which I think isn't the right way to go about this particular class, because you have to look at number one who was on the ballot. You had Bill Belichick and you had Robert Kraft, right? But the reason that Roger Craig got more votes, from what I believe, and why Bill and Kraft both got snubbed, was we all know Belichick, it was Spygate, Deflategate, his relationship with the media. We all know the Bill reasons. Just go look up last Thursday's show. Robert Kraft, I don't know why he got snubbed, but it feels like to me that they made it seem like, well, we don't know if Roger Craig will get a chance to see himself be elected while he's alive. Which I don't think that should be the reason he should be in. I don't. And I feel like that the voters definitely have some issue with the Patriots. There was a comment that I saw on Thursday's episode, which I wholeheartedly agree with, and I think that this is where the bigger root of the problem is. If you have personal agendas or biases or whatever it is that you have, pettiness, politics, whatever it is that keeps Bill and Kraft out, you shouldn't be voting for NFL awards or Hall of Fame voting. You should not. In the case of MVP, the idiot who voted Justin Herbert needs to be drug tested, because that dude was not even a finalist on the ballot. And guys, I have it on my page actually, because I couldn't believe this. And again, guys, this is the problem we have with the Hall of Fame and the MVP voting. And it's seriously a joke. It is seriously a joke of how this is being carried out. We have a real problem on our hands. All right, and I'm going to be an advocate for this. We need to change the voting system, because people that are putting personal biases and conflict of interest in the case of Dan Orlovsky with Matthew Stafford, they should not be voting. They should not be voting. And it's not right. It's absolutely not right. And I think, again, it's not right. So I have the guy's name who voted for Justin Herbert. Sam Munson, which, listen, you need to give up your vote. That was a joke that you put Justin Herbert in as a MVP first place vote. Let me read the tweet for you guys. I was a Justin Herbert vote. The guy had the worst offensive line in the NFL all season, and despite that, he was working miracles in almost every single game. Stafford's offensive line became 2/5 as bad as Herbert's for 5 minutes, and he became a turnover howitzer. He embodied value. MVP is the single hardest award to correctly determine, because the focus is on value, which is basically impossible to objectively evaluate with so many dependencies. But the idea that one vote altered a guy's legacy is stupid. More people than not thought each candidate did not deserve to win MVP this year according to the votes. There was not one clear MVP who was robbed of the award. Most people were torn between two deserving candidates. I thought a third deserved it as well because the value he brought to his situation was immense. And then this is where people start going at him. And this guy says, by the way, for the people that don't know, the nominees was just the top 5 vote getters after the votes were counted. They didn't send a list of 5 nominees, and I chose from outside that list. So, this is where the problem starts for me. Whoever the most votes end up being, you should have a finalist list by the time Week 18 finishes. You should have a top 5 settled from there. Justin Herbert was nowhere talked about the MVP all year. Maybe in the first 3 weeks, and then it fell off from there. But to sit up there, even when he looked crap the rest of the way, and I know it wasn't all his fault, you cannot tell me Justin Herbert should have got a first place vote over Matthew Stafford or Josh Allen or Drake May. And now you guys are going to bring up, well, Rich, you said Stafford was going to win Thursday when you had the bet for Drake May. Time out. I went with who I thought likely was going to win it. Now, who I wanted to win is a whole different thing as far as if I had to vote, I know who I would have voted for. Hell, I told you guys all year with the bet I had for $1, hoping to win almost $100, which that was fun while it lasted. I would have voted for Drake May because I had a bet on it since October. Because I was like, why not? And it ended up getting really close. And I said, as that season progressed, I was voting for Drake May until I figured out, you know what? The media I know is going to give it to Stafford. Now, I want Drake May. Okay? But the fact that this fucking vote is leaked out is the exact problem we have with the voting system itself. You cannot sit up there and tell me with a straight face that first place vote should have gone to Justin Herbert over Matthew Stafford or Drake May. I'm sorry. I know this was a close vote. But here's the second caveat. Dan Orlovsky, who, by the way, I've gone on a little thread on Twitter of his allegiance to Matthew Stafford. Now, for those of you that don't know, Dan Orlovsky was Matthew Stafford's teammate in Detroit. And everybody knows he was Matthew Stafford's little cheerleader, and he can do no wrong in his eyes. Okay? And he voted for Stafford. He basically made it clear. But if you go back years of where Dan Orlovsky has supported Matthew Stafford on different occasions, okay, and there's pieces of evidence that I point on my X account, all right, Dan Orlovsky lost all credibility. Because when you put your own personal biases and you vote for him because he's your friend, when the very same argument people said for Drake May was the same argument you made for Josh Allen, automatically disqualifies your credibility. And I'm sorry, you are a fucking joke of a voter, and you should also get your vote rescinded. You lost all credibility, Dan Orlovsky, and now, shit, he's probably the most hated person among Patriot fans right now within the last 12 to 18 hours right now, which I honestly don't blame. Because honestly, this is the problem with the voting system. You're putting personal bias and friendships into account. It's not who's the most deserving anymore. It is a popularity contest, which to me should not be how these awards are decided. It should be based on what we are looking at as to who was the most valuable player on their team. And I heard a lot of people say, in the case for Drake May did more with less, while Matthew Stafford had Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. That was Dan Orlovsky's exact argument from last year when he voted Josh Allen over Lamar. Do you guys see where I'm going with this? We have hard pieces of evidence of Dan Orlovsky basically being a cheerleader for Matthew Stafford. Let's go through Exhibit A. Quote from Dan Orlovsky. I want Matthew Stafford. I'm never going to turn my back on Matthew Stafford, Orlovsky debated, because I'm a team guy. I'm not a guy that's a solo guy like Stephen A. Smith that wants to just all be about Stephen A. Smith. Matthew Stafford is my brother. He is my teammate. I would rather be working I would rather be wrong than to turn my back on Matthew Stafford. This is Exhibit A. We have another one. Him and Richard Sherman going back and forth back in 2022, where him and Sherman go back and forth, and Sherman goes, nothing to start, led the league in picks last year. Just because he's your buddy doesn't mean the facts change. Led the league in touchdowns last year and won the Super Bowl with as clutch a postseason as anyone at that position has ever had. That's what Dan Orlovsky said back to Sherman. And then Sherman goes, laugh my ass off clutch, laugh my ass off tart drop and pick, laugh my ass off laughable. You will be a homer for your friend. More power to you. The tape doesn't match. Exhibit B. Okay, so we're in a situation now where, again, he put his own personal friendship at the forefront and completely shut down the same argument he had last year that he used with Josh Allen to win MVP over Drake May. Mind you, I didn't even mention, in the last month of the show, I don't know how many people actually watch my episodes, he gave no credit to the New England defense up until after the Denver game. And then he wants to make it seem like, yeah, I apologize Thursday, 4 days later after you gave that tape. Well, it's a little too late now because all the facts, we've got them written up and the hard evidence is there. So the real root of the issue, we need to change the fucking voting system for the NFL voters that, to me, if you're going to fucking put pettiness, politics, and all that aside, and if you're going to put your personal friendships in front, you should have no vote going forward. The most deserving candidate should win. And it's a joke. It impacted the Hall of Fame this year, and it impacted the MVP voting. And then we have people that feel bad because he had the worst offensive line for Justin Herbert. This is the problem, and this is where I've been begging now for the last week plus. We need a voting system change. And if the evidence isn't there, I don't know what you people understand. But it needs to change. Because this is so wrong of how this was conducted since the regular season ended. This was so wrong. And in my opinion, if you have a vote that's in the top 5 as a finalist, and you want to give that guy a first place vote that's in the top 5 finalists, that's fine with me. But to give a first place vote to someone who didn't even make it as a finalist, no, you should have no vote. I'm sorry. Unless it was really, really, really close by like one vote. But even then, I would say no. I would say no. So we have a real problem on our hands. And next year, let me tell you this. The Hall of Fame class gets tougher. Because you got 3 guys that were close to getting in from the modern eras. Willie Anderson, Marshall Yonda, and Terrell Suggs. But here's the thing. You got Gronk. You got Richard Sherman. You got Big Ben. You got Antonio Brown. You got Adrian Peterson. They're going to be waiting longer. They're going to be waiting longer. Ladies and gentlemen, this show, I like to call out people that need to be called out. And I will quote one of my great family friends that he has said on different occasions, off camera, that he likes this show because I'm not afraid to call it out like I see it. And that he doesn't come off as fake, and that he just says what he says that needs to be said. Shout out to my family friend that said that to me. And I'm not going to shout his name out, but maybe at the end of the show I will. But let's get to the Super Bowl 60 show that you guys have all been waiting for. I wanted to get that off my chest because it was bothering me with the whole NFL Honors Hall of Fame thing, because I take that shit very seriously, as you guys heard last week, because it continues to bother me. But now let's get to the game. So, we have, as of right now, the point spread. The Seattle Seahawks are 4.5-point favorites. The over and under is at 45.5 points. So it opened 3.5 after the championship games concluded. Seattle was favored by 3.5, and then it shot up to 4.5 literally 2 hours after the championship game ended. And it was right when we were recording the post-championship game episode. Now, the spread has not moved all week. Now, you're probably like, Rich, everybody loves Seattle. That's why it hasn't moved. Well, if everybody loves Seattle, why hasn't it bumped up to 5.5? Right? So, let's set the scene here. I have a couple trends that I noted. I have 2 on Seattle's side, and I have 3 on New England. Shocker. Don't accuse me of being biased. I'm giving you guys important trends to know going into this game. Because again, you make your picks whatever the hell you want. My pick will probably be different from a lot of people's pick. So what? All right? So, let's get to the trends. All right? So, trend number 1. The Seahawks are the first team to receive 70% or more spread bets in the Super Bowl. I'll say it again slowly. The Seahawks are the first team to receive 70% or more spread bets in the Super Bowl. Now, I don't know how long they go back with that number. I would say it's got to be up until the beginning of the millennial, 2000. I don't know how far this goes back because I would have thought some of the ones in the 90s where I was like, it wasn't larger than this. But again, I don't know how long they've been tracking this. So Seattle's the first team to receive 70% or more spread bets in the Super Bowl. Now, that might scare you as a Seattle fan because you like to fade the other way. I'll give you another Seahawks one real quick. Mike Macdonald versus quarterbacks under the age of 24. So the quarterbacks against Mike Macdonald, 24 or under, are 0-6 as a win-loss record. 1 touchdown to 8 interceptions and 22 sacks. I'll say that one slower. Quarterbacks 24 or under against Mike Macdonald's defenses are 0-6 win-loss record, 1 touchdown pass to 8 interceptions, and has been sacked 22 times. Okay? That's trend number 2. That's both Seahawk ones. All right? If you guys want to pause the video so you can write the trends down for your own notes, by all means, go ahead. Now, to the New England side of trends. The Patriots defense has only allowed 26 points in the playoffs. Only 3 teams have allowed fewer in the playoffs. 3 playoff games. One of them was actually 4. The 86 Giants with 23 points, the 2000 Ravens with 16 points, and the 85 Bears with 10 points. I'm going to slow down on this. The Patriots defense have only allowed 26 points in the playoffs through 3 games. Only 3 teams have allowed fewer in 3+ playoff games. The 86 Giants with 23 points. The 2000 Ravens with 16 points. And the 85 Bears with 10. So New England's looking to be the 4th team to do that. All 3 of those teams won the Super Bowl. Okay? Give you another one. In the last 12 years, every underdog that was getting a 4.5 spread, that was getting 4.5 points, covered and won. 3 of the 4 won outright. The 2012 Ravens, the 2015 Broncos, the 2017 Eagles, and the 2021 Bengals. I'll slow down and say it again. In the last 12 years, every underdog that got a spread of plus 4.5 has covered and won. 3 of the 4 won outright. 2012 Ravens, 2015 Broncos, 2017 Eagles, 2021 Bengals. I have one more trend for you. So we talked about the MVP. If a Patriots quarterback finished top 5 in the MVP finish, which I really go back to the Brady years, with a top 5 MVP finish, the Pats have won the Super Bowl. 03, 2014, 2016, Tom Brady. Drake May was the runner-up. He finished top 5 in MVP. But when Tom Brady won a league MVP, 0-3. 0-2 specifically in Super Bowls. I'm going to slow down and say that again. When Tom Brady finished top 5 in MVP finish 3 times, they won the Super Bowl. 3-0. 2003, 2014, 2016. Drake May finished in the top 5 and was the runner-up this season. Remember that. When Tom Brady won the league MVP, he was 0-3. He did not even make the Super Bowl one of those years, and that was 2010. That's when they had the 1 seed loss to the Jets. 0-2 in the Super Bowls, though. So think about that for a second. So, these trends are interesting to me. Because I look in that and I say, see, that's something the national media doesn't tell you. Because they want to have all their things towards what they want. I look around and I'm going, okay, what is relevant to this game? Well, let's play a fun game of Connect the Dots and a little trivia, which I gave you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. All right, I'm trying to make some new flavor and have some fun on the show. Let's go into what I did early in the week. I did a same game parlay for the Super Bowl on Sunday. And this was, they had a happy hour boost on receiving props. And I'll tell you guys what I ended up doing because I did 3. Okay, and I'm going to get them all for you guys. I want to make sure I have the right value. Now, I got these at better odds because they had the happy hour boost, and I was like, this is something I could see actually happening. So I'll tell you guys the bet that I did on Tuesday. So I did Hunter Henry, 25 plus receiving yards, Kayshon Boutte, 25 plus receiving yards, and Cooper Kupp, 25 plus receiving yards. All that together was like plus something, and I forgot the exact number off the top of my head right now, but I know it was all plus money, and it got, with the boost, it was more. I really think that all 3 of these guys are going to hit 25 plus because I have a feeling the way that this game goes, Kayshon Boutte's going to have an opportunity to get some of those fade patterns on Devon Witherspoon. I watched the game on tape. Devontae Adams and Puka had their way in, as far as beating Witherspoon on some of those like streak fade routes. Hunter Henry, the Seahawks are pretty low percentage-wise against tight ends. And then Cooper Kupp, I think, because New England's going to try to slow down JSN, Cooper Kupp, I think, can get to 25. They usually try to take away your best and make you play left-handed. Vrabel's learned that from the Belichick tree a little bit. He's got his own way of doing it too. I think Cooper Kupp gets 25. So that was my thinking with it. Now, if you guys actually want what I have, I guess I'll have to post it on X later. I might do it leading up into the game. But that's a parlay that I really like. All right, now, Rich, what do you actually like plays-wise in the game is what you're asking. Whew. I mean, let's have some fun here. This is the fun part of the show. So, anytime touchdown scorer, who do I really, really like to score? Depends what you guys want to do too. I look at it like, okay, as far as a find, who's a fun play? And I like to have a little bit of fun plays with it because I'm like, why not, bro? Okay? And I usually like to find some long shots and I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to be fun. All right? So I'm going to give you a couple plays I really, really like. I like my parlay though, by the way. I do. I have a couple other ones I'm like leaning, okay? So I like Kayshon Boutte anytime touchdown at plus 350. I think if Josh McDaniels has a big play, it's going to be Kayshon Boutte on those fade routes. Remember, he caught one on Derek Stingley in the divisional round with that one hand. I think Kayshon Boutte, if they can hit that fade route on Witherspoon, I like him at anytime touchdown plus 350. I like that, okay? I also like, crazy enough, guys, I like the New England Patriots defense to score a touchdown or special teams at plus 550. Yeah, I like it. Because I think Sam Darnold is going to make a mistake in this game. And New England's defense has been really, really good the last 2 games at getting takeaways. Now, they had a couple picks on C.J. Stroud, but Sam Darnold can turn the ball over. And I thought at plus 550, I'm like, come on, man, that's a good odd. That's number 2. Now, on Seattle's side, I don't blame you if you want to go like JSN or Walker, but I don't like to go like the favorites. So although they would be up there for me as a top pick, weirdly enough, I kind of like Shaheed to get a touchdown at plus 360. I kind of do. Jake Bobo plus 1,100 too. That's a really good one too. Because Jake Bobo, I think he's caught one in 2 straight games. I mean, I have a feeling, again, just fun plays I poke around that I'm like, yeah. Now, real long shot, Kyle Williams for fun for me. Plus 1,300, anytime touchdown. I have fun with this, man, okay? And you got to have fun with it once in a while because you never know what happens. And honestly, I love it. So I think that those would be my plays that I would look at for anytime touchdown. I don't really like the quarterbacks rushing touchdowns in this game because I feel like that's so hard to do, right? So those are some anytime touchdown props I like. Now, passing props. Okay, now, I want to go back a little bit here because I do want to see if I can get these at lower odds, let's say. All right, and I want to get them at like a really, really good price. I might like Drake May to get 210 passing yards at minus 156. I think that's a good number that I think he'll hit. I have it right around there. Okay. I think that's something that, to me, I could see. I know people like completions and pass attempts, which, again, I'll go to those next. I don't really like Sam Darnold's passing props as far as, like, yards. I don't like that. Attempts, though, wow, they got Drake May at 31. I'm not really going to touch the attempts. Completions, let me see what they have. 21 at plus 103. What's 20? Minus 133. I could see 20 as like as a ceiling at minus 133. Why not? I could see it. Passing and rushing yards, let's see. Wow, that's high. Actually, no, never mind. That's high. All right, here we go. Interception props. Give me Sam Darnold to throw 1 interception at minus 135. I think this is going to hit. This is up there among my diner menu of play calls. I like Sam Darnold to throw a pick. I do think this Patriots secondary is really, really good. I think Mike Vrabel's going to force him to go to somebody else if they can slow down JSN. And I think that this New England defense has had their way with interceptions in the last 2 playoff games. And I do think this defense is going to create takeaways. I like Sam Darnold to throw a pick, at least 1 pick, at minus 135. Let's go to, and I mean, you can even do this too, like interceptions over and under. I have Sam Darnold over half an interception at minus 135. I'll be real with you guys too. I actually kind of like Drake May to throw a pick in a way at over 0.5 because I actually do think this game, I think the defenses each have a takeaway. I really do. I think this could actually be something I see, although I am hoping it's not at the end of the game because I'm hoping New England wins. Okay? And then, see, they got everything. I mean, they have interception red zones, so, oh my God, I don't want to bring up the Malcolm Butler play. I'm not trying to do it on this show. All right? Yeah, they got a whole ton. All right, let's go to receiving props again. What do I like? I do not like JSN to go 100 or in the 90s. I don't. I mean, I could see it in the 90s. I just like to be unique and have some fun. Diggs at 50 plus at plus 106. Ooh, that's tempting. That's tempting. I mean, this is a game he waits for. Keyshawn Boutte at 31 plus minus 114. Well, actually, I'm not going to do him because I already did that with my parlay. I'm not going to double up on that. Diggs at 50 plus is interesting. I mean, I think that's interesting, actually. That really is. I mean, that's tempting now. Really interesting. Let's see some other ones. Shaheed at 25 plus. I mean, if he catches one deep play, that's going to get it. 25 plus is plus 108. I mean, we have a really good secondary. I mean, I don't think Vrabel's going to give up a big play. Jake Bobo. Wait, what is this? 1 plus yard is plus 160? Are we joking? Kyle Williams is 1 plus at plus 175? Okay. This is not actually bad plays. These are good long shots to pair with it. Ooh, okay. Okay. What's receptions? Let's have some fun, guys. Diggs at 5 plus at minus 132. I could see that. I mean, Cooper Kupp at 4 plus I like too, because I think they're going to have to go to somebody else. I mean, I have JSN at 7 catches actually on my metrics. Mondre at 4 plus, I think it's high. Henry at 4 plus, I mean, minus 137. That's interesting. I might even take the over on that. That's somebody I'm looking at too. Travion 2 plus at plus 201. I mean, if they can get the screen game going, that's interesting. Receptions is usually hard to do though. Let's go to rushing props because this is the happy hour boost that they had yesterday. Do they have over and under rushing yards? They have to. I'm gonna go. Honestly, guys. Let me see Mondre at like 50. Minus 116. Okay, what's 40 is the high? Okay, now. All right, I'm going to stay away from Mondre on the rushing yards. Drake May at 40 plus to get plus 101. Let me see 30. Let's have some fun, guys. Minus 150. Oh, that's 38. Oh, 30 is minus 213. Okay. He is going to have to make a lot of off-schedule plays. We'll get to the keys in the game in just a moment. All right. Let's get to the ones I actually want to get to. I want to see if they have... Oh, man, it was rushing. Do they have rushing touchdowns? Oh, no. Rushing touchdowns, we said earlier. Okay. Defense, special teams, props. Longest punt return. That's punt return? That sucks. I want to see that. Kickoffs, no. Player specials. These are always hard. Game specials, let's see. Let me see. Passing specials. Oh yeah, this is the one. This is the one where they have the attempt to pass from or inside the 1 yard line. That's at plus 550. Seahawks to throw a touchdown pass from or inside the New England 1 yard line plus 1100. Funny. I gotta go over this with you guys, man. I gotta have some fun with this show. All right. Offensive yard. No. See, this is where again game props. Let's see. Octopus touchdown props. Let me see touchdown props. Alternate total touchdowns. I can't even predict this stuff. All I know is this, guys. I usually like to... I know they usually have the 2-point conversions and they have the defensive touchdowns I like. There was one, too, where you have the... I want to see where it is under. I can't usually find... Is it novelty props? Oh, no, that's the Gatorade one. I know who I'm going with. This. Okay, here we go. All right. This is what I want to get into. I promise, guys. I just want to have some fun, all right? Will there be a flea flicker attempted? I like the yes, okay? I think you're going to see a trick play get thrown in this game. I think this is where you get them off balance a little bit. I'm going to go with yes for a flea flicker to happen at plus 230. I like that a lot, okay? Coin toss winner to win coin toss in the game. Oh, that's tough. First touchdown jersey number, no. Okay, this is the one, guys. This is under novelty props. Quarterback to catch a pass. So, yes, at plus 1,100. I don't know if that is going to happen, but there's one where a non-quarterback to throw a pass. Any non-quarterback to throw a touchdown pass at plus 1,400. I mean, we saw it with the Bengals Super Bowl last, I want to say. So, I mean, I kind of think, is it? I know there's one where like it's over 2.5 passes where it's a non-quarterback throwing one. Where is that, man? Any offensive lineman to score? What's the odds on this one? Plus 2,200. This is so fun. I love this stuff, man. I love this stuff. Fastest ball carrier. No. Let me see. Oh, I thought they had it on here. I have to look for it. Super Bowl 60 specials. No. I have to find it. Super Bowl MVP. Let's have some fun. All right, let's have some fun. Let's see. Defensive props are hard to pick. I'll go over those quickly. All right, so MVP. I know people are... Darnold's a favorite right now, plus 120. You ready for this? I would go a long shot, personally, for have fun. I think my favorite long shots to win Super Bowl MVP, Marcus Jones at plus 6,000, because he can return kicks too, and punts. So keep an eye on that name. Marcus Jones. Amanda Warriors plus 8,000. Okay, interesting. Gonzo is plus 10,000. Ooh. If he has a pick six, that'd be funny. That'd be funny. Where is Big Dog Milton Williams? Plus 20,000. I like that. That might be fun. He balled out last Super Bowl, man. I like him. Let's see. Seattle. Who's a good one that I think is good? DeMarcus Lawrence is plus what? 9,000? Okay. Amanda Warrior is actually not bad at plus 8,000, but I don't like it because he's hurt with the ankle. I think he's going to play, though. He says he's going to play. Ernest Jones is what, plus 9,000 too? I don't love it so much. Leonard Williams and Devon Witherspoon, I can maybe, I don't know. Now that I think about it, I'm not going to do it that way. I guess you could go Leonard Williams or Devon Witherspoon if you want. I mean, even Ernest Jones or D-Law, I don't blame you if you want to have a little bit of fun. But, again, I like to go real long shots as far as MVPs because I think a defensive guy is going to win the MVP most likely because I think this game is going to play out that way. So I like to have a little bit of fun there, guys. So I want to see. Let's go over defensive props real quick. Leonard Williams, DeMarcus Lawrence, 1+ sack. Well, DeMarcus Lawrence, 1+ sack, plus 119. 1+ sack for Leonard Williams, plus 165. Oh, Million Williams is 1+ at 210. I love that. Chase on, at plus 225. That's interesting. Byron Murphy, 229. That's not bad value either, actually. Barmore's 370. Oh, I love that. Honestly, some of the sack totals, I like these. Oh, let's see the safety. Let's have some fun. Oh, these are good odds. Okay. Oh, wait. Why do they have the Patriots to score a safety, but then there's odds of none? Wow, that's weird. Wow, so if anybody to score safety would be plus 1,800, plus 2,200. Ooh, it's fun. That's some fun things to do, too. So I'm trying to find the one, guys, where you have the non-quarterbacks to throw a pass. I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to think, is it under game specials? I'm trying to see. Because I know that, like, it's there. I'm trying to search for it. I don't know where it is. But that's usually a fun one, too. Like, I think here we go. I think it's passing specials. Let's see. No, this is the one. All right. You guys, there's a lot to like. All right. And I know you guys are like, get to what your keys to the game are. The winner, I get it. Well, I know Yoham's getting pissed, upset with that. Yoham, let me have fun. This is a Super Bowl show, man, okay? Let me have fun. I want to have fun. This is like the one show of the year where I like to have fun. I know this is a little bit longer, but I like to have fun because I like to find some long shots I like. So I know I threw a bunch at you guys as far as long shots, and I didn't write these down, but I like to look at these for fun myself, and I will have some fun on Sunday, hoping a long shot that I like hits. Anyway, so what are the keys to the game for both of these teams? Seattle, the key, I think, for them is they're going to have to try to get Kenneth Walker going like they have in these two playoff games. I do think that they want to make sure Darnold plays clean. How does Sam Darnold play clean in their mind? Run the ball with Kenneth Walker, get him into favorable matchups with JSN, Cooper Kupp, and they're going to try to get the ball out of his hands. And I think that Sam Darnold, to me, they're going to lean on Walker. They're not going to make Sam Darnold be the guy that costs them the game. And I feel like that, to me, if they can win up front with the running game, if Walker gets going, I think that Seattle, if they can get their run game going offensively, it's going to be tough. However, New England's defense has been really, really good against the run. Defensively, they are going to have to mix in pressures, and they're going to want to create takeaways. They want to rattle May early. I think they want to get him into a turnover, get the short field to make the offense get short field, get points. If their defense can cook up pressure and create takeaways, I think that's the thing with them. Rattle May early, kind of get him to speed his clock up a little bit, which I think that's the game plan for Mike McDonald. Change the looks a little bit, which Denver did in the championship game. And then I think that if they can stop the running game, and then again, they are usually good at stopping yards after the catch for the most part. I think that Seattle's keys on defense to do that, to limit New England's offense and get them out of sorts. What is New England's keys, Rich? Well, you have to make sure that, number one, Drake May, I know you guys are going to be like, well, he's got to obviously protect the ball. Of course, it's every game, but I'm trying to mix this up a little bit. I would get Drake May, honestly, to get his confidence going early. What do I mean by that? Well, get him in a rhythm where you can mix in the running game. They're going to try to get some screens in this game. I think if you can get some very favorable screens against certain looks that you get, I think that if you do get a matchup where you get a shot play, like I think it's going to happen in the game, I think, of Kayshon Boutte, a fade ball against Witherspoon, I think if you can get Drake May's confidence going early where he has to take checkdowns, if he's got screens, get some screens mixed in with some runs, I think if they can get his confidence going early, I think he'll settle into the game better. I think he'll be fine. I think the biggest key is get Drake's confidence up early. Get the run game to mix in. Maybe he gets a little bit of some run quarterback design runs, which we saw in the Bills' second matchup. Maybe if they get a look where the safeties start to move into the box, they take that shot play. That's where he usually does efficiently well with throwing the deep game. Although it hasn't happened in the playoffs because the defenses have been better. But I think other than the same old protect the ball, don't turn it over, get his confidence going early. Screens, runs. Try to get him to take checkdowns if they're there. Because if they get his confidence going, I think he's going to be into the game fine. He'll settle in. Once he gets a rhythm and confidence, I think that's when he's going to play really, really well. I think the key is get May confident early with a mixture of runs, screens, checkdowns, and if they give you a shot play, mix that in, keep them on their heels. Defensively, pressure Sam Darnold. Get that run game stopped on early downs. That is the key for New England. I think the run defense has been great all year. And I think those guys, Milton Williams, Christian Barmore, are going to be huge. I think defending the run early in downs and pressuring Sam Darnold is going to be their key on defense. I think the one way you can get Seattle off schedule is stopping the run, obviously a plan with JSN and then the others, but pressuring Sam Darnold. If you can pressure Sam Darnold, to me, that's where I believe New England is in a great spot defensively. And I think if you can pressure Sam Darnold, force him to turn it over, which New England's defense has been doing really well throughout the playoffs, I think if they can create takeaways because of the pressure, give their offense a short field, they're going to be in a great situation. I think that is going to be the key. I think pressures are going to be important. When you mix them in, and stopping the run on early downs is crucial. All right, and then obviously on third down, they're going to have a plan with JSN and then the others. But I'm trying to get out of the obvious keys to the game. I'm trying to give you guys different keys what I have. So, and then I think, again, you want to make sure you, obviously winning the early downs is a repetitive one I use. So I'm trying to mix this up with you. So for Seattle, I think they're going to try to run with Kenneth Walker. kind of move the chains a little bit. And then I think they're going to have to try to get the ball out of Sam Darnold's hands quickly. I think defensively, they're going to want to, in my opinion at least, they're going to want to rattle May early with different looks, stunts. And I think if they can get him rattled early in the game where they can get takeaways, I think it's going to bode into their hands. For New England, stopping the run on early downs, because if you have to make Sam Darnold go to a drop-back game, I think they would relatively be in a closer game like this. And then I think, to me, if you can get a good confidence boost for Drake May early, where you can win some of those early downs as part of it, I think that's going to bode well. But I think in this point of the game, you got to make sure that he isn't slow start or frantic, because if he's comfortable, if he's confident, he's going to be fine. And my one worry will be that offensive line if I'm New England, and then that's where, to me, it's if they can hang in there. And I'm hoping this offensive line can hang in there. They've had 2 weeks to prepare. Hopefully they can hold up. So, Rich, how do you see the game playing out? I think this is going to be a defensive game, folks. I do. And I think this is a game where you're going to see these teams make mistakes. I'm prepared for it. I'm expecting my team to make a mistake or two in this game. I'm also preparing for Seattle to make a mistake. To me, it's which team can capitalize on mistakes that produce points. And I think, to me, that's what's going to be the big part, because defense is going to be this is going to be the whole thing of the game. Both defenses have been playing really well. Seattle's more in a rhythm offensively than New England is right now. However, New England has a way, I think, to get to Darnold. I'm going to save that for my pick and stuff. So, I think, to me, it's going to be defense. It's going to be a lot of 3 and outs. I think you're going to see teams kind of hang around a little bit. I think this is closer than people want to say it is. I do. So I think this is a defensive game. You're going to see a lot of guys that are getting pressured in this game. I don't think you're going to see too much of a run game, much on either side. You'll see a couple, chunk runs. But I don't think you're going to see any, real insane runs. Maybe one if you could wear a team out, which I don't know if either of these defenses really you can wear out. But that's the fun chess match of the game, which leads me to my pick. And I've slept on this. The national media loves Seattle. And I told you guys in the beginning of the week that I was scared of the Seattle defense, and I still am. I'm not going to lie to you guys. And part of me doesn't feel the greatest, but it's a Super Bowl. I mean, it's supposed to be a toss-up game. I feel like those that say it's a double-digit score or a blowout, I feel like are just, again, I don't think they've watched New England much, in my opinion. I have. But I haven't watched Seattle much. I've watched them a couple games this season. I watched them in Washington. I watched them against Arizona early in the year. I watched them against the Rams, the second matchup. I've watched them more of late. I'll put it that way. But I haven't watched them throughout the whole year. All right? But I'm saying I've spot watch. Okay? I do think, though, you know what, guys? You guys know I'm a New England fan. I really want to pick my team to win this game, because I think it'd be a fun show. If they win, it'd be great. I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I could do it. But you know what, guys? What has this show been based off of? What does it stand on? It stands on going against what the national media says. And damn it, I don't mind being different. I don't mind. I believe there is a way that the New England Patriots can win this game and win number 7. There is a way And I'll tell you how it's possible. They have to pressure Sam Darnold. I saw what I saw all season. This defense, since Milton Williams came back, much better against the run. Seattle's going to be a key with that running game. It's Gary Kubiak's offense because Clint's his son. So they're going to try to run Kenneth Walker. Our run defense has been great. Sam Darnold's one kryptonite over the years has been pressure. New England has been top in pressures this playoffs. That means you can get takeaways. And I've seen what we did against Justin Herbert, CJ Stroud, and albeit Jarrett Stidham. I don't care. Those are two of those wins were against upper level quarterbacks in the league. Drake May has beaten 3 top 5 defenses. This defense is technically 6, but number 1 in scoring. So he's gotten through some tough games. He is yet to play his best game in the playoffs. And this is where I think he has, maybe not his, best game if you count regular seasons, but this is definitely going to be his best game in the playoffs, in my opinion. I trust Josh McDaniels is going to put him in favorable plays, make him not have to be the guy that drops back 30 to 40 times. That's not what he does, okay? He's seen how Brady was with the Rams and their development, right? I think Josh McDaniels, I trust how he's going to call the game. And here's the kicker. We have experience on our side. Who do we have experience? We have Mike Vrabel, who won 3 Super Bowls as a player, okay? We have Milton Williams, who won a Super Bowl last year with the Eagles. Carlton Davis won a Super Bowl with the Bucks, okay? Now, Austin Hooper was a tight end on the Falcons 10 years ago when he was in the Super Bowl. We got some experience on our side now, okay? Seattle don't really have that experience. So I look at that and go, well, Josh McDaniels knows how to prepare for 2 weeks. Mike Vrabel's been in those preparations as a player, so he knows what it's going to take, okay? I think the combination of this team, New England, who the media is already counting out, they're ready to anoint Seattle as the Super Bowl champs. They think it's a blowout. They've been doubted several times, and they've answered the call. And I think, to me, they can get pressure on Sam Darnold. They can stop the run. They're going to make them have to let Sam Darnold beat us. I think that's this philosophy Vrabel's going with. I am going to go, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, please. And I'm not going to do it loud because of the camera stand. I am taking the New England Patriots to win 20-16 on the Seattle Seahawks. I am going with the New England Patriots. I'm taking the 4.5. I'm taking the money line. I am taking the New England Patriots to win this game. New England, stand up. New England, stand up. I am not betting against my own team. I went this far. I got one damn game left. I'm going with pride on the line. You can call me biased. I don't give a damn. I'm going with pride because I want to see this damn team win. All right? They count us out, man. All I had to hear 2 weeks. Vrabel's going to have those guys motivated. This defense has been playing great, okay? I trust Josh McDaniels and Mike Vrabel to have this offense better. They're going to play their best game of the playoffs, I believe, even though this will be tough because Seattle's going to make you earn it. And damn it, I know this is tough games, but this is Super Bowl, man. It's not going to be a pretty game. It's not going to be pretty. Josh McDaniels said it's hard. But I do believe Drake May will play better. I believe he'll protect the ball. I believe he'll make plays. And I'm taking my New England Patriots to win and get Lombardi number 7. New England, stand up. New England, stand up. I am going down without a fight. I am going down without a fight. I'm taking my team. I'm taking New England 20-16 on Seattle. I am. Because I believe there's a way we could beat Seattle that the media doesn't talk about, but this show does. And you can make fun of me, say I'm a New England fan and stuff. That's fine. But at the end of the day, I'm going against national media. And I'm not the only one picking New England, by the way. I've seen a couple people, but I'm going to pick my team because I think a lot of people don't understand. This game's going to be closer than people want to say it is. And I do think New England covers and they win. And I got the trends on my side that I like. That's why I had it early in the show, man. So there you have it. Those are my Super Bowl 60 bets that I like. Trends that I have. We went through it all, ladies and gentlemen. We went through it all. We went through keys of the game. We went through how I think it's going to play out. Sorry, this is a little longer than I wanted it to be, but you know what? It's the last real game preview of the season. So I wanted to have some fun with it. So there you guys have it. That is my Super Bowl 60 prediction pick, bets, and more. You can follow me on X at LoungeTimePod, where this episode will go live later tonight. So you guys have 2 days to go through the Super Bowl stuff. Like you said, if you guys want to take notes on the trends, bets, feel free. Feel free. Just pause the video, make sure you write them down, and then have some fun with it, all right? You can also hit that like button, that subscribe button, that notification bell. Leave a comment down below. I will respond. Just try to be nice. Try to be nice. And I'm referring to somebody on earlier. So, but we're looking to build this community. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so that we guys can get all of the content. We're going to go with an episode depending on if New England wins. I'm going to be really happy. I might wait till Monday morning or Monday afternoon. I'll let y'all know. Y'all will know based on how the game is if I'm going to be Sunday night after the game or if I'm going to be Monday morning. But in a way, I will let you guys know how it's going to be. All right? I will. All right? I'm hoping New England wins so I can have a real fun time on Monday. But if not, well, then I'll probably end up doing it Monday. And hopefully I'll be cooled off. But you can also follow Lounge Time on Rumble. We have a couple followers. We're looking to build that community over there. We want to grow that Rumble community, so give us a follow on Rumble. You guys will get all the episodes there to watch. You can even have fun if you want to go back, watch an earlier episode or this episode. Have some fun with it. Guys, thank you so much for tuning to Lounge Time. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Enjoy your Super Bowl weekend. Have some fun. And I will see you guys either Sunday night or Monday afternoon, depending on the game outcome. I'll see you guys then, talking post-Super Bowl thoughts, and we're inching closer to the end of the 2026 season. But until then, enjoy your Super Bowl weekend, everybody, and I'll see you guys either Sunday night or Monday afternoon. Have a great weekend, everybody.